Good evening. This is Liz Whitaker, Divination Station. Thank you so much for joining me today on the second installment of Dive into Divination. Yesterday, last week, we talked about what is divination and kind of went into that part of it. We're going to be doing a quick look at the top five, or the big five. I actually did an infographic for the big five, if you saw that shared on my page or in my group. That will give you a good indication of what's coming up for the next few weeks. So again, divination, we are looking at tarot today. So again, it would be an introduction to what tarot is, how it's used, and we will go forward from that. So as you are jumping on, if you could, please say hi. Let me know you're here. Again, I'm gonna do readings, but I'm gonna do them like I did last week. If that worked, let me know. Basically gathering the names. Hi, Cheryl. Gathering the names and then messaging you the reading within the next day. Worked pretty well for me. If you liked it, let me know. So again, I'm just going to share this out. And if you could share the broadcast out, hashtag shared, and that will get you your reading. Again, so just bear with me as I do share this out. And how is everybody doing today? It's pretty chilly here. Oh, that's cool. So we are looking at tarot today. That's kind of my wheelhouse right there. It is the spot. I am a tarot reader. I read for individuals. I read for parties. I read pretty much anywhere anybody wants me to. Let's see. And again, just sharing this out a few different places, so bear with me. And I can hear myself on my phone here. So tarot. Okay, so what is it? So tarot is a method of divination, and we defined divination on the last broadcast. So today we'll talk a little bit about the history. And the history of tarot is something that is at this time under review for consideration. So it is everything from, you'll hear an ancient tradition handed down from ancient Egyptian magicians, mysticists, and a card game played in Italian and French courts. You're going to hear it as a means of fortune telling. And it's kind of one of those things that the history is a little bit, we don't really know the exact origin of it, but it is the origin of playing cards. Okay, there's some stories that say that this used to be how religious stories or the Bible was told, pictures on cards. The minor cards are where the suits of cards come from. And we'll talk about playing card divination on another broadcast. It's a wonderful tool for gaining insight. I don't generally read as a method to, really look to the future. I use it as a tool for self-reflection, and I use it with my coaching clients. I use it for myself. Not necessarily for the future. It is a deck. It is a system of 78 cards. There are 22 major arcana. Christina, hello there. Happy 2021. All right, so if you do, I'm just going to throw this out there again. When you jump on, say hi, share the broadcast out, comment hashtag shared, and I will, in your messages, I'll get you a free reading. So 22 cards in the major arcana. The majors are the big cards, the big ones, okay? So right here, the Empress, that's a major arcana card. Okay, it's an archetype. It's an overarching figure that we can all relate to in some way, shape, or form. There are 56 in the minor arcana. There are 4 suits. In the suits, you have court cards. And those, again, are the archetypes represented within that suit. So there are a few myths that everybody seems to have around tarot. The first one is that you have to have your deck purchased for you, your first deck purchased for you as a gift. I don't stand by that. I think if you don't have a deck and you want a deck, buy a deck. You must keep your cards in black silk. If you want to, and that's what feels good for you, go ahead. It's said to protect them from kind of bad energy, bad vibes. Personally, I actually right now I have this tarot like holder here that I carry mine in right now. Tina, hi. You can also keep them in the box. You can keep them in a pouch or a bag, really whatever you want. Some people say that no one can ever touch your cards. Again, that's a personal preference. Right now with COVID, I don't let anybody touch my cards. And that's more for sanitary reasons right now. But generally, if I'm doing readings and someone wants to pick their cards, I'll let them. Some people say that they're evil, like the Ouija board, and they say the Ouija board is evil. It's not evil. It's a deck of cards. It does tap into the subconscious, which can bring out latent fears, what we tend to refer to as shadow work. If you have something like that, it will come out in the cards. And some people don't like to recognize that, and they feel that that is kind of the devil speaking, but it's really that part of themselves that they don't really want to acknowledge. So that is tarot in a nutshell. Okay, it's a deck, 78 cards, major arcana, minor arcana. Now, there are 3 major systems of decks. Okay, most recognizable is going to be the Rider-Waite-Smith. This is the deck that was written by Arthur Edward Waite. He wrote the card meanings, and it was illustrated by Pamela Colman Smith. They were both part of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So that's why, you will have a lot of the themes that ran through the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn here. The importance of colors, the importance of bringing in symbolism from all different branches of mysticism at the time. You're going to have Kabbalic influences. You have Egyptian influences, astrological influences. And I'll just show, this is a really good example of that. You have Hebrew letters. You have alchemical symbols. You have Egyptian figures. Astrological correspondence. So that's a good representation of where that kind of overall mysticism came in with the Golden Dawn. The reason that I refer to it as the Rider-Waite-Smith is because for decades, the deck was known as the Rider-Waite deck. Okay, so Arthur Edward Waite wrote the book, wrote the meanings. So you think, okay, Rider was the illustrator. No. Rider is the publishing company. Pamela Colman Smith did not get recognition. She did not get paid for her work on the most iconic tarot imagery. So in order to give her credit posthumously, I will refer to it as the Rider-Waite-Smith deck or the Waite-Smith deck. So as you're reading, the suits have elemental correspondence, numerological correspondence. I'm not really going to get into that here. Like I said, I'm just kind of giving that overview. So this is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Another very popular deck, again, written by a man, illustrated by a woman, is the Thoth Tarot. Okay, so this is the Thoth deck. Again, the meanings and the writings were by Aleister Crowley. And he did this, again, as an offshoot of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. But he actually created his own everything. And it was illustrated by Lady Frieda Harris. She did get more credit and recognition than Pamela Colman Smith did for her illustrations here. But still not as much, right? More, but not a whole hell of a lot. So there's two very iconic decks that were illustrated by women. So this is the Thoth deck. Much different in atmosphere and feeling. Okay, much different feel. Again, both decks pull from Kabbalah, alchemy, zodiac. These cards are going to have the Thoth deck has a little bit more Kabbalic influence, just because that's, there's like a upside down tree of life. So they just read a little bit different, okay? And the other major system is the Tarot de Marseille. And this is closer to what an original old school deck would have looked like, okay? These are not illustrated minors, okay? The Rider-Waite-Smith was the first deck to have illustrated minors. So the minor cards here look more like, look more like the deck of cards. So that would be the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Coins. So this is what's referred to as a pip deck, where the minors are not illustrated. You have to go. Okay, and this is the Tarot de Marseille. Again, a very different feel. It's going to read much different. Okay. So you have the major arcana, the minor arcana, the four suits, which are going to be cups, which are going to represent water, emotions, feelings, anything like that. Those are cups. Sometimes referred to as chalices. Some decks get a little bit different in their representation of that. The next, you're going to have swords. Swords are air element. It's going to be our intellect, our ideas, our thoughts. Then you're going to have wands, which is the fire element. So fire, energy, action, anything like that. And then you have pentacles, which is the earth element, which is going to be material. It's going to be resources, anything like that. So you have the four suits, and they can be always, if you're getting a deck and you see something that looks a little weird, the deck that I'm doing the readings for my Patreon this month has arrows instead of swords and staves instead of wands. So just take a look at the little white book before you start to read, and really, if it's called something different, it's most likely the same element. They just call them something different sometimes. And then you have the court cards. So again, the court cards are the archetypes in that suit. So I'm just kind of pulling the first ones that I see here of each court. So you're going to have pages. Okay, you're going to have pages. This is Page of Cups. You're going to have knights. A Knight of Wands. Queen. Queen of Pentacles. And King. King of Wands. Again, some decks might call them something different. They may be knaves or princesses, but it's going to be the same general idea. And again, just make sure you check the deck to know kind of where you're at with the deck. So tarot is used, again, for self-reflection, to kind of, again, divine, see what's going on, see where you're at. And how you do it is, and I'm sure everybody's seen in pop culture, you've seen tarot readings, right? The reader will shuffle, they will lay the cards out, and either the cards are laid out in a very specific fashion, where, you know, this spot means this spot means this, or it's a more intuitive spread, and you flip the cards over, and you go from there. I like to tell a story when I'm reading. So my longer readings are storytelling sessions. Just looking at the interrelationships of the cards and how that is reflected in the person. You can clarify. You can always pull more cards. You just want to describe what you see. Describe how you feel. And then go with what it means, okay, in that reading. Okay, that about wraps it up. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and pop them in there. This dive into divination is just going to be, can be quick little intros of topics, and I will go into them more in depth in the future. I just want these first big 5 to be just quick little introductions, what it is and how they differ. So as we add more to this big 5, we're going to look at how compare and contrast, okay? So starting off with tarot, I figured I'd start here. It's fairly recognizable at this point. And then once we look at runes and numerology and astrology, we're going to look at those and kind of compare and contrast. And like I said, I don't know a lot about the I Ching, so I'm going to be learning right along with you. Erica, I love learning too. And whenever I do this, it's always learning for me as well. So if anybody has any, questions, any comments, any requests, definitely send them over to me. The broadcasts are also going to go up on my YouTube channel, which is Divination Station. So you can always catch my lessons, whatever you want to call them, my lives there. I do have the Fool's Journey lives there as well, so you can check those out. So again, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. And if you did share, you will get your readings. Thank you, Christina. You will get your readings through Facebook Messenger within 24 hours. Okay, so again, thank you so much for sharing, and join me next Monday at 8 o'clock, and I believe we're going to do runes. So I'm going to do some research and preparing for that for next week. So have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay warm. Bye.